What you hear is a construction.
What you're hearing isn't a reconstruction. It isn't a dramatization. This is the last known recording of a man named Dimitri Volkov, recovered 3 days ago from the heart of the Red Forest, Sector 4 of the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, the most radioactive place on the surface of the Earth. His body was never found. Only his GoPro camera and a Soviet-era dosimeter were pulled from the irradiated soil by a reconnaissance drone on February 13, 2026. The device was still functional. The footage was intact, and what it captured has forced the Ukrainian government to expand the exclusion zone by 5 kilometers overnight, with no official explanation given to the public. Until now. The Red Forest earned its name in the days following the 1986 disaster. 4 square miles of pine trees absorbed so much radiation that their needles turned a violent rust red before dying entirely. The trees were bulldozed, buried, and left to decay in radioactive graves. 40 years later, the forest remains a monument to atomic horror, a skeletal graveyard of birch and pine, their bark peeling like dead skin, their branches clawing at a sky that no bird dares to cross. We were told the Red Forest was empty. We were told the radiation killed everything. They lied. The camera stabilizes. Through the cracked lens and the perpetual twilight of the dead zone, we see it. A structure. Architectural. Organic. Impossible. A spider web, suspended between 2 skeletal trees, shimmering with an eerie bioluminescent green, like veins of uranium glass threaded through the air. The silk doesn't sway in the wind. It hangs perfectly still, as if the air itself is afraid to touch it. The Geiger counter ticks faster. Something is very, very wrong here.
Oh no, there's something in it.
It's a wolf. Or what remains of one.
The camera bobs as Dimitri moves through the underbrush, his boots crunching over a carpet of dead leaves and brittle bone-white fungi. The web grows larger in frame. And now, through the lattice of glowing threads, we see it. A shape. A body. It's a wolf. Or what remains of one. The animal is suspended in the center of the web, its limbs splayed in a grotesque crucifixion pose. But this isn't the clean, mummified death you'd expect from a spider's prey. This is dissolution. The wolf's fur is matted and sloughing off in patches, revealing flesh beneath that looks less like tissue and more like wax melting under a flame. Its skin is blistered, blackened, weeping a viscous amber fluid that drips slowly onto the forest floor, hissing faintly as it makes contact with the dead leaves below. The wolf's ribcage is visible, not because the flesh has been eaten away, but because it's liquefying, dissolving, being chemically burned from the inside out. He's partially correct. But the truth is far worse. The Geiger counter, silent until now except for its steady ticking, suddenly explodes into a shrieking alarm, a cascading error tone. The kind of sound that tells you the radiation level has exceeded the device's maximum measurable threshold. He stumbles backward, the camera jerking wildly. But in that brief, chaotic moment, we catch a glimpse of the forest floor beneath the web. Bones, dozens of them, femurs, skulls, spines, all scorched black, riddled with holes, as if they've been subjected to years of acid rain. But these bones aren't old. Some still have fragments of tissue clinging to them. Fresh kills. Recent kills. The answer, Dimitri, is one that doesn't hunt for food. It hunts for fuel. Let's pause the footage here. Because what Dimitri stumbled upon isn't just an anomaly. It's an evolutionary nightmare decades in the making. In 2007, scientists discovered something extraordinary growing on the walls inside Chernobyl's destroyed Reactor 4. A black fungus, Cladosporium sphaerospermum. It wasn't just surviving the radiation, it was thriving on it. This fungus had developed radiotrophic properties, meaning it could convert gamma radiation into chemical energy, much like plants use sunlight for photosynthesis. The implications were staggering. Life, when pushed to the brink, doesn't just adapt. It evolves new ways to feed. But fungi are simple organisms. What happens when something more complex, something with a nervous system, with predatory instincts, undergoes the same transformation? Arachnids are some of the most resilient creatures on Earth. They survived the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. They thrive in deserts, oceans, caves, and yes, radioactive wastelands. The Chernobyl Exclusion Zone is home to countless spider species, many of which have shown unusual size increases and pigmentation changes due to chronic radiation exposure. But this is something else entirely. The creature Dimitri encountered appears to have developed a symbiotic relationship with radiation itself. Its web isn't coated in venom, it's saturated with isotopes, likely absorbed from the soil, the water, the very air of Sector 4. The silk acts as both a trap and a digestive enzyme, breaking down organic matter while simultaneously emitting its own radioactive signature. Why? Because this spider isn't hunting for protein. It's hunting for radioisotopes, specifically cesium-137 and strontium-90, both of which concentrate in bone tissue. The spider has become a biological battery, capable of storing and metabolizing nuclear decay. And if it's this large, this bioluminescent, this active, it means it's been feeding for a very long time.
Всего один разрез. Быстро и чисто.
Что? Какого черта? Но, Dimitri, you're not gonna make it out.
No, Dimitri. No, they won't. Because you're not going to make it out. The camera steadies as Dimitri approaches the web again, this time from the side, avoiding the dissolving wolf. He pulls a folding knife from his jacket, a cheap Chinese model with a serrated edge. The Geiger counter is still screaming, but he's learned to ignore it, a mistake every stalker makes eventually. He extends the blade toward one of the glowing threads, a strand as thick as fishing line, pulsating faintly with that sickly green luminescence. The knife makes contact. The silk doesn't snap. It resists, stretches. Then, with a faint hissing sound, it parts. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the ground moves. A tremor. Subtle at first, then violent. The camera shakes. Dimitri's breath catches. The forest floor directly beneath the web, beneath the mound of blackened bones, begins to crack. Soil and ash cascade inward, as if something below is collapsing, or rising. The web wasn't just a trap, it was a tripwire.
It's a spider, but calling it that feels like an insult to taxonomy.
The earth splits. A circular section of ground, nearly 3 feet in diameter, lifts upward like a manhole cover pushed from below. Roots snap. Fungi crumble. And from the darkness beneath, something emerges. The camera captures it for only 4 seconds. But those 4 seconds are enough. It's a spider. But calling it that feels like an insult to taxonomy. The body is the size of a dinner plate, maybe larger. Its carapace is translucent, a ghostly white that seems to glow from within. Through the thin exoskeleton, we can see its internal organs pulsing rhythmically. Ganglia, book lungs, a stomach sac, filled with something luminous and green. It has no eyes. Just smooth, featureless chitin where the eye cluster should be. It doesn't need vision. It senses radiation the way sharks sense electrical fields. Its legs are wrong. 8 of them, yes, but uneven. Some longer than others, bent at angles that defy anatomy. 2 of the legs end in jagged, broken tips, as if they've been shattered and healed incorrectly. Mutation. Rapid, cancerous growth repaired over and over by a body that refuses to die. And then it makes a sound. Not a hiss, not a growl. A clicking. Sharp, rhythmic, mechanical. It's mimicking the Geiger counter. The camera spins. Trees blur past. The clicking sound grows louder, faster, multiplying as if there are dozens of counters all going off at once. Dimitri is running full sprint, but the forest is a maze of dead wood and irradiated mud. Behind him, we hear it. The wet, heavy thud-thud-thud of something massive moving through the underbrush. Not scuttling. Pounding, Each step cracks branches, displaces soil. No one is coming, Dimitri. No one has been in Sector 4 for years.
Net! Help! Somebody help me! No one is coming, Dimitri.
The camera jerks violently. Dimitri has tripped. He hits the ground hard, the GoPro flying from his head and landing lens up in a shallow puddle of stagnant, oily water. The image is sideways, cracked, distorted by moisture on the lens. We see Dimitri's legs scrambling in the frame, trying to stand, his hands clawing at the mud. The clicking stops. Silence. Then, slowly, agonizingly slowly, a shape enters the frame from the right. A leg. Translucent, segmented, covered in fine hair-like setae that glisten with moisture. The tip of the leg presses into the mud inches from the camera, and we see it clearly now. The end isn't a normal tarsus. It's fused, malformed. The chitin has grown over itself in cancerous layers, creating a jagged, club-like appendage. The Geiger counter, still attached to Dimitri's belt, emits one final ear-splitting shriek, then silence. The camera feed continues for another 11 seconds. All we see is the leg. All we hear is breathing. Not Dimitri's, something else's. Then the screen goes black.
Entry is strictly prohibited under penalty of law.
On February 13, 2026, the Ukrainian National Emergency Service issued the following statement. Due to unforeseen environmental hazards, the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone perimeter has been extended by 5 kilometers in all directions, effective immediately. Entry is strictly prohibited under penalty of law. No further information will be provided at this time. Dimitri Volkov's body has not been recovered. His camera was found 400 meters from the web. The web itself is gone. But the forest floor where it once hung is now a perfect circle of scorched earth, 20 feet across, still emitting 15,000 milliroentgens per hour. Something is still living in Sector 4. Something that has learned to turn death into energy. And it's not alone.